Hello Danila, this is my feedback to your draft presentation. Okay, first of all, I think you should use the university template. That's what we use. Remember that template? Any color you want, just use that. But I like the way you've arranged the information here, your title, all the information, your name, everything. That's good. Just use the template, okay? Self-introduction, I would suggest include a picture of you, instead of this. Now, before that, you do need an outline though. And in that outline, you have to mention all the slides that are going to be part of the presentation. You have up to 10 slides, including this slide and the outline itself. So you will have 8 more slides, basically. So before the self-introduction, there should be an outline slide saying self-introduction, whatever else you're discussing, right? Here, I would just say research goals or research interests. Maybe there's why interested. That's fine. That's good. The issue is very important. That's very nice. But here is just a little bit minimalist. This slide, this is the title and then just that, and it's even bigger than the font. The font size of the title slide is smaller than this, so it's not very well. You have so much space and there's just 2 lines. It's kind of sitting there isolated. You probably want to make one slide of why this issue is important. Okay, that's great. And then the next slide should be all about your research goals, research future ambitions, what you're planning to do with this research. Okay, so up to here you will be at, how many slides is that? This is slide 4, right? Okay. I think it should be the goals. Again, you see? Now here, I'm not sure that we need this. That's more like the problem, right? All these difficulties, all these issues, all these problems. But future goals should be about who you are. What are you going to do with this research? And I think this should be part of this slide here. So now you're up to slide 4. You need to slightly redesign them. And now this slide now should be, so in your actual individual presentation, remember it's 10 minutes. The last 10 minutes is Q&A. That leaves you 7 minutes to talk. Of the 7 minutes, the last minute of that is basically conclusion and summary. Take that away, you have 6 minutes now. The first 6 minutes. They should be divided into 3. If you go back to the guidelines, read them very carefully to see what you need to include. You will see that the first section, the first 3 minutes, should be you. So that's good. So far you've done that. And right after the first 3 minutes where you discuss your interest, your goals, why the issue is so important, what you're going to do with that, your future aspirations and so forth, 3 minutes. The next 3 minutes should be a discussion of 2 sources. And this should be in the outline. Right here, the title, the outline, there should be a slide that says outline. And you should say overview of source 1, overview of source 2, and then summary, and then a reference list. So as soon as you're done with your first 3 minutes, the second 3 minutes, you're going to discuss sources. Now, you should include one visual aid, but the visual aid should be easy to see. So the problems, that's fine, maybe. But again, the percentages are not clear here. There's things you need to kind of iron out. And here it just goes a little bit too much. And it takes 2 slides, it's a little bit awkward. And then immediately after that is this. each slide should have a title. Now that you're finished with the first 3 minutes, the second 3 minutes is a discussion of sources. Imagine that you want to use this source. I don't know if you want to use it, but I'm just giving you an example of what you need to do. So the title of the slide should say overview of source 1, and this is the source. You can include this visual aid if you want to, just this. I don't think people want to read these percentages and it takes too much space. You see, it goes over 2 slides, it becomes awkward. So let's say you use this visual aid, that's fine. The title of the slide should say overview of slide 1 and then the source. Overview of source 1 and then the name of the source. Now, when you're discussing that, you're not really talking only about content, but you're talking about how that source inspired you, how that shaped your interest in the topic, how it gave you direction. That's what you're discussing. So instead of simply saying there's, I don't know, 60% of them have spelling problems, 40 have homework problems and all that, you're going to discuss it in a different way. You will say, in my research, I found this source, Umarzakova, 2017, and it was very important in shaping my interest in this topic, in realizing that there are all these issues. I did not realize up until that moment how many issues they were involved. Having read this source, that opened my eyes to the plethora of issues that are out there, so many challenges facing these students and teachers. See, that's the kind of discussion that you're going to frame it, not so much as content, but as this source helped me to realize this. It gave me a new direction. It inspired me to do that. It opened my eyes to this new concept. Up until then, I did not realize, but having read the source, now I have this new direction and I want to pursue that. You see, that's the kind of discussion of the sources that you're going to have. It's not just, you're not presenting content. You're presenting yourself, your interest, how these sources inspired you, you see? So after that second 3 minutes, you've talked about your 2 sources or 1 source. You can just use 1 source if you want to, but no more than 2, no less than 1. Okay? You will have your conclusion slide. This is a little bit hard to see. It's very smudgy. I don't know if you want to use that. I'm not sure. But if this is your second source, you could say another source that really inspired me or really helped me understand the issue was Bando and Lee, 2014. That source mostly discusses mechanisms by which teacher training can actually affect student learning. We can actually train our teachers so that they can make more of an impact in the classroom. How does that work? Bando really describes this very well by pointing in particular to the pedagogical knowledge that the teachers need to possess. Blah, 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 you know? So you're talking about the issues, but you're talking about them as how you got inspired. You see? I will use this idea in my future research, and I'm particularly interested in whatever, teacher private investment, whatever you want to talk about. This is your presentation, right? So that's how you're going to discuss this. The second 3 minutes are over. Then you need a slide saying summary and conclusion or something like that, and you will conclude. Maybe your conclusion could be about why this is important for Kazakhstan or something like that, right? And then you have a reference slide. Okay. So simple visual aids, simple bullet points, and include an outline slide and include sources. Overview of source 1, overview of source 2, and a summary. And mostly, again, go to the guidelines. It really stresses the idea that this presentation is not about content. It's about you, your goals, and how these 2 sources shaped your interest in the research. Okay, I hope this is helpful, Janila. Good luck on your presentation.